There it is. There it is. Yeah. So, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Camping with Coleman. It's your boy Josh, aka Coleman, and we are going to be doing a revealing on my WertyMade Wraith rebuild today. Now, unfortunately, here at the Elliott house, there is some construction going on, which I'm sure you guys can undoubtedly hear in the background right now. They have a backhoe with a jackhammer on the back of it, just slapping rock, and they've been doing it for like 3 days straight now. I think they got into some big blue rock or something down under there. They just can't get through it, and it is driving me insane. Absolutely freaking nuts, man. Listen to that thing. Here, actually, you know what, matter of fact, I'm just, you're probably not really getting the whole gist of this. So, beautiful day outside though, beautiful day. I mean, it's gorgeous outside. But I cannot get past the friggin' jackhammer. So, this video is going to have some jackhammer in the background, and there's not a damn thing I can do about it. I took this Wraith out yesterday to the park, and I went to shoot a kind of like a couple of action clips to include in this revealing video, and that didn't work out so well. I wound up blowing my ESC. As soon as I plugged it in, something was funny. It had like no power at all. It felt like it was in training mode or something, like how they have on the Valenian systems. And there just was no juice at all. Get home, and I'm goofing around with it or whatever, trying to figure it out, and all of a sudden, boom, blew a capacitor off the back of the ESC somehow. So, yeah, it didn't blow off the ESC, but yeah, it definitely popped. So, we're going to do a stationary rebuilding today, and I'll just kind of show you guys what I did. And don't expect nothing, jaw drop. This isn't going to be like a show truck or anything. It's just a rebuild of my old Wraith, kind of bringing it back to life. And, alright, anyways, let's go ahead and get to it. I'll show you guys what I got here. Flip this around, and boom. There it is. There it is. Now, I do read all the comments, and even though I don't always respond to all of them, I read all of them, every single one of them. And I saw all your guys' different suggestions for color and color schemes and stuff like that. And I was pretty stoked on them, and I'm not going to lie, I cheated. I went ahead and had this finished long before I put that video up. Yeah. I cheated. I finished it early so I'd have time to test and tune, and it didn't matter. It still wound up breaking on me. Not the truck, but the electronics gave out. And the reason for that is I didn't put anything nice in here. I'm not going to lie. I just threw the stock RC four-wheel drive, I think it's called an Outcry brushed ESC. I just threw that into it. I had an extra one for my trail stomper, so, it can go up to 4S. I figured, hey, let's give it a shot. And as it turns out, it didn't like me very well. But yeah, here is the WertyMade Wraith, man. The ESP/WertyMade Wraith. And now let's go over some detail here and kind of fill you guys in on what you're seeing here and where I put the time and effort into changing things around. As you guys know, I stuck with my budget build theme here. I didn't buy anything for it. Everything that's on this is stuff that I already had laying around. So I basically stuck with the use what you got sort of concept and just kind of ripped the old one apart. As you guys saw in the very end of the last video, I said I was going to go to bed, and then I wound up staying up, forgot to shut my camera off, and ripped the crap out of the Wraith. I just started ripping stuff off it, and you know, so there wasn't really any chance of being a good build video on this just because of that. You know, I start working on stuff and I can't really stop. But what I did was I went ahead and chopped the rest of the back of the cage off, and you'll see, you know, I've already taken it out and got it wet, so there's a little bit of rust in there in those screws already. It's alright, I got some K&K hardware coming and I'll take care of that in no time. But what I did was you chop off the old Wraith cage right here behind the B-pillar, right? And then right here as well. Now, after I chopped it off, I went ahead and took the Dremel to it and rounded it down so there's not a lot of meat left there. And then you also chop it right back here, alright? And the WertyMade cage comes with these tabs already welded on here that are just, I mean, they're not absolutely perfect fit, but they are pretty damn close, man. Really, really close. And what you do in the center here is you chop out the bar, right? And then install the cage, and you put the bar back in there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you had to chop out in the center of it there. And that's pretty cool. And I took the old tail lights and just kind of modified those to be attached right there so I'd have some tail lights mounted up top. Like I said, I'm not buying anything for this. I really wanted to buy one of those fancy light bars, you know, like Ultra Force style light bars, but not buying nothing for it. Sway bar. Let's see, the sway bar kit here. Can you get in there and see it? It is not an actual sway bar kit, which I'm sure you guys are kind of figuring out by looking at it. It's a homemade setup that I did. Because I'm running the WertyMade trailing arms now, which are awesome. And you can see I've beat them pretty dang good. I mean, really good. I've been smashing on them a lot. And they're holding up nice. The only thing I was able to do is scratch some paint off them. So, not a lick of concern so far. Super stoked on that. And so basically, because I'm using those, I wound up freeing up this top little spot here on my mount. This is the top shock mount spot or whatever. And so I used that and some extra linkages I had laying around and whatever. And went over to the hobby shop. I did buy some spring steel, and I didn't just buy it. I bought it a long time ago actually for a different truck. Just to start playing around with making my own sway bars. And so this was a good time to use it. And so I went ahead and made me a sway bar. I did have to buy some new collars or whatever right here. They have set screws in them. So what you do is you take your spring steel, you basically just stick it through where you want it, bend it into place, and then use the collars to lock everything in where it's supposed to be. And then you get sway bar action, and it does work nice for me. And you still get a lot of flex. A lot of people ask me, why you put sway bars in, you know, something you're going to rock crawl? Well, look. Tons of flex. And then it's really stable in the back, so I can jump it and all that stuff, and it'll still maintain its stability while I'm doing crazy stuff. Makes it kind of cool. The shocks on it are some super cheap ECX shocks that I had bought in like 2 years ago, and they're just sitting there, and they got red springs and stuff on them, a little bit of red anodization right there. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just throw those on there and see what they look like. And the panels, the purple panels, whew, excuse me. My allergies are kicking right now with all this spring stuff going on. Alright, so these purple panels, you can see they're all scratched up already. Right? It's, you know, they're super scratched up. But they look cool, and there's a reason why I went with those. My buddy Lance gave me a Wraith a couple of years back, and I used the parts to build another truck, right, that I'm working on. I'll show you guys another time. And instead of, you know, wasting the panels, I have this habit of just keeping everything. And so I kept the panels, and I remembered I had them. I was like, oh yeah, I got those purple panels. They're stock Wraith panels. So I pulled them out, and I chopped them down, made them a little shorter, and then I put them on the inside, and then ran the screws all the way through and into them on the back side. And so now I have panels mounted inside of the bar, or inside the cage, which will now keep the panels in the condition they're in. So even though they're a little beat up, they're not going to get much more beat up than they already are, because everything hits the cage instead. And yeah, it just gives it a really cool look. I really, really like the look. The interior, it's all the same old interior that I've had, except for I put a steering servo in there. I found an old waterproofed Traxxas, or no, that's a high-tech servo that was laying around, and you know, I found my Kimbo slice, I stuck Kimbo Slice in there because he's got lots of good articulation and all that stuff. And I hooked him up to a steering servo, which I didn't do a very good job of that. I got to redo that actually. But the servo works great. It's all mounted in there nice and everything. And along with sticking with the theme and using parts that I had laying around, I was like, let's do some other work under the hood because I'm just running these little tiny batteries back here now. Little 2200 3S. So I made the hood so you can pop the hood, and stuck my fat Mad Ram 11 sticker there since, you know, it's basically a Southern Rock Racing Series type buggy here. And I mounted a little scale Cummins under here. I stole out of a Brooder. It might not be a Cummins, I don't know. I'm just assuming it's like a 6-cylinder diesel. Looks like it anyways. And so I mounted that under there, just kind of give the appeal. It's not, you know, it's not actually scale or anything like that, but you know, it looks cool. Stuck an old battery I had laying back there. It's all covered in paint and stuff, whatever. Found it in my drawer, stuck it back there, wired up a capacitor here. Got a servo reversing Y harness, I think, running through there. And yeah, that's really it, man. There's nothing fancy. It's all the same old stuff that was on the Wraith before, but I changed the wheels and tires out. Chopped the cage, added my WertyMade Back-half to it, added my WertyMade trailing arms, changed my panels, updated the under the hood stuff. Oh, and I do that by using these right here, these little ball joints or whatever. Same thing, you know, you'd use for like a tow hitch on some of these trucks, except for these are a little smaller. And just cut a little hole in there. Bink, bink, done deal. Pops right in. And then up here, I screw in some I don't know what those are. It's like wire holders, you know, for running wires in a house. Just screw some of those in there. And I actually got that idea from Lance because he had already done it on this, and I just kind of freshened it up. And voila, there we go. Done deal. That's the WertyMade Wraith. The spare tire mount, I wasn't going to do that, honestly. I really am still kind of up in the air about it. But this is the second one I've had to make. This one's kind of funny business. It's just a bracket from Ace Hardware. And at first I used plastic and metal and like just different hobby grade stuff. And it looked really cool, and then I broke it off. So that wasn't strong enough. So I went and got some metal and did a metal bracket from Ace Hardware. And that's definitely strong enough. I can swing this thing all over and, you know, land it on its butt and all that, and no problems. But I just don't know if I like the look of it on there. What do you guys think? I mean, I kind of do, I'm not going to lie. But it looks like, you know, an Ultra 4 style setup with rock bouncer tires. So I'm still up in the air. I don't know if I should lean it more towards rock bouncer, get rid of the spare tire, or just leave the spare tire and just kind of go with how it is. And yes, my front bumper is bone stock and broken. I might have to hit WertyMade up for something about that, because that thing is just beat. That's beat. But yeah, man. So that's just to show you guys that you can take an old beat up Wraith, you know, something that's been sitting around for years, you know, been thrashed on by a bunch of different people. Throw a couple of simple little things you got laying around the shop, if you got those things laying around the shop. If not, that's not a lot of money to go buy some fresh panels, a set of wheels and tires, a set of shocks, you know, and then I throw on the back half and the WertyMade trailing arms. So, I mean, really, if I were to buy all this stuff and try to do it all brand new and get it all super shiny, these are just Axial 8-holes. They're nothing fancy, it's 2.2s. I mean, I'd be maybe like $220 into this rebuild. Maybe. So, I mean, it's a really cool look compared to what it was before for a really low cost. And yeah, I'm digging it, man. I am really digging it. And it's fun to drive. I did get some, you know, driving in, and I'll probably include a couple of clips, just to, you know, maybe a jump clip and stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know. But if I don't, then I'm going to take it out after I swap the ESC, and I'm going to shoot a whole new driving video of it and show you guys how it actually behaves on the rocks and in the dirt and stuff like that. It is really fun. So anyways, you guys, that is my WertyMade Wraith, and yeah, I hope you guys like it, you know. And if you want to see it in action, don't stress, I will have video of it in action here very soon. I was hoping to take it out today, but I gotta fix that ESC first. I've got an AE5 I might throw in there, we'll see. But anyways, you guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go enjoy this weather. It's beautiful out there. It's bright, beautiful, sunny. Yeah, piece of chicken grease. Holla at your boy.